Hello everyone, I am Gitanjali. We from IDG are back with second episode of Eager Episodes, an initiative aimed at knowing more of our faculties at NLUO with the aim of bridging the gap between the student community and the faculties. Today, we are interviewing a person who is associated with celebrations at NLUO. She has been with the university since her university days and is actively involved in the campus activities. Her love for animals says it all. Yes, you guessed it right. We are interviewing Dr. Sohini Mahapatra. Hello, ma'am. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. How's your day going?
It was good. I took my classes. I conducted proctoral board hearings. So good.
Tell us about your best day at NLUO.
Best day at NLUO. Best day at NLUO would be 6th October 2018, the day I got my PhD degree. Because PhD is something which you put in a lot of, not just hard work, but a lot of blood, sweat, tears, everything into it. And so that is, I think, one day which will be very close to my heart, because for that 2 alphabets before your name, you have to work very hard. So I don't think there's any feeling that can replace that day. So yeah, the day I got my doctoral degree.
What made you pursue your doctoral degree from NLUO?
Oh, so I did my master's from here. So after that, doing my PhD was a natural progression for me. So I thought that since I've done my master's here, I intended to pursue academics. So NLU was my first choice, because then it's easier for me to pursue my PhD along with also pursuing a career in academics. So that's why. And I did not intend to leave Cuttack at that point of time and go. So that's why NLU.
Okay. Ma'am, now that you're part of the proctoral board, ma'am, tell us something. How do you juggle between your various administrative duties and taking classes and everything?
Okay, so that is something which comes with the job, because teaching nowadays is not restricted only to classroom teaching. So administrative responsibilities, whether it's proctoral board, whether it is student committees, whether it is other administrative committees, they are all part of the job. And you just learn to juggle it. I think the key is not to get overwhelmed. As long as you're not overwhelmed with all the responsibilities, there's so much work. I think that's the key, because you do find time to do a little bit of everything. Sometimes it can be a little burdensome, but then it's okay, you manage. So not a problem, not a big problem, at least.
Well, I don't think so. A lot of the students would think the same, but still. Ma'am, you have been in this university, as you told, since your LLM days. So, ma'am, tell us some about the changes that you have witnessed over the years at NLUO.
Okay, one big change is what we are standing inside right now, but I did my LLM in 2012, so 2012 to 14, which is like 11 years ago. And 2012 is when the campus shifted here from CB8 from there. So there was practically half of the campus was not even there. Only half the acad block was there. Admin building, library, all of this did not exist. And I think 2 hostels, both the boys' hostels were there. There was no girls' hostel.
So, Ma'am, now we move on to the second segment of our interview, wherein we have got some questions from our student community
Oh my God.
who are way too curious to know about you. And
And I'm curious to know what they are curious about.
so you'll be picking up a chit from this and answering the questions.
Okay.
Take your pick.
I should open or you should open?
So the question is, what is the one thing that keeps you going?
One thing that keeps me going. One thing that keeps me going is just taking life one day at a time. I'm like I said earlier, I'm not a very big thinker. So I'm not a planner. I mean I'm very organized, I would like to believe, and systematic in my day-to-day work, but I'm not like this big philosophical planner and thinker of life. So for me it's just one day at a time. Wake up in the morning, do your whatever is required to be done for the day, go to sleep, wake up next day, do whatever is required for the day. So I think that's what keeps me going. Just being looking for things which give me a lot of contentment around me.
Do you plan your day a day before ahead? Like you take out some time to list out things. Okay, these are the things that tomorrow I have to do.
Yeah. So work wise, yeah. So I have like 3-4 diaries on which I make my to do lists. But that's just not necessarily to plan my day per se, but in general to keep a note of things that needs to be done. And I also think that getting those tick marks of things that are done gives you a lot of happy hormones, so that it gives you a sense of achievement. It could be very futile, but it does, and I think it works for me. So I don't plan per se, but if there are things that need to be done, yes, they have to be done. So it's like that, more like that.
So, ma'am, our next question is from Sansita Swain from 4th year.
BA2.
Yes. She has asked you what motivated you to pursue a career in academics, and did you feel anxiety during your law school days, and when you saw your peers pursuing litigation or going for law firms?
Well, that's a very easy question. Anxiety zero, because I'm never bothered about what others are doing. So I'm obviously I want whatever each one is doing in their own lives is for them. If litigation is what you want to do, very good. If firms is what you want to do, very good. It really never bothered me. Why academics? So like every law student, I also went through that graph. I want to have a fancy chamber. Then I realized, oh no. Okay, I want to have a high-paying law firm job. No, not that. And then I think in my final final semester, 10th semester, I decided that I wanted to join academics. Primarily because I knew what I did not want to do. I did not want to do litigation because I thought wearing black and white every day is too boring and I can't do it. So it may be a very, very stupid reason, but that was my first thing. And it doesn't pay you well also, so it didn't make sense. And second thing, I don't think that I am cut out for a law firm job. Because I wanted my time to watch TV, and I wanted my time for gardening, and I wanted time for myself. So, but having said that, academics I think has also changed quite a bit now. For instance, what academics used to be for a generation of teachers above us, where you go take classes and come back, I think academics has also changed drastically. You have a lot of additional responsibilities. Your way of working, style of working has changed. But even then, I would never want to trade that for a higher paying litigation chamber or a higher paying CAM, SAM, trilegal, whatever. No. So I think I was very focused from my final semester of LLB that I wanted to take up academics. And then after that, I think everything was a natural progression, getting into LLM, pursuing my PhD, starting off my career.
So, moving towards the next question. This one, even I wanted to ask you since a very long time.
What is it?
Where does your beautiful sarees shopping is done from?
Acha, okay. A lot of my saris are actually my mother's. So I use a lot of her saris. So when I started wearing saris, we started buying common ones also, which both of us can wear. But otherwise, there's no fixed place of buying my saris. Wherever I get good handloom, mostly I prefer handloom, whether it's Odisha handloom, Bengal handloom, MP handloom, any kind of handloom, but mostly handloom.
In a way, Bionica and Mrignani are your go-tos.
Mrignani is so good, yeah. But yeah, and from wherever I can get a good sari, and it could be 100 rupees sari to whatever, but
So you're a window shopper.
yeah.
So the next question is, as a lawyer or any professional, we had some kind of, inspiration for becoming lawyer or like choosing the field. What was your inspiration that made you choose law?
Would it be very stupid if I said there was no inspiration? Because there was no inspiration. So when I joined law, it was in 2007, when there was no CLAT. And back then for us, we had very little exposure in terms of your options after 12th. So it was either medical, engineering, or law. I mean, if you are not good at science, law is your only option. It was that. And I was miserable at science in the sense that I would rather die but study physics, chemistry. I tell all my friends, I live in a world with no physics. I don't care how electricity functions as long as I'm getting electricity, right? So I was very sure I did not want to do medical, I did not want to do engineering. So I think most of my decisions in life are ruling out what I don't want to do, right? So, but that I think also gives you a lot of clarity. For academics, choosing academics also, I ruled out what I did not want to do, and hence I thought academics was a good option. Although my family also wanted me to pursue judiciary, but then I thought I am not a judiciary material. So, but law, I think at that stage of my life, I did not want to do medical or engineering. So I thought I can talk a lot. So maybe lawyers require that one skill which requires you to talk a lot. And my parents thought that I'll be a very good lawyer. So my father really wanted me to be a litigating lawyer and set up a chamber in Delhi, and he had a lot of fancy dreams. Not that he's not happy that I'm into academics now, he has no complaints. But I think that was one reason. So my parents told, we think you'll be a good lawyer. So I was like, okay, I can't study physics, chemistry, I can't do maths to save my life. So law it is. So there was no inspiration as such. I did not watch Suits back then, so I can't say that Suits was an inspiration. But yeah, I think that was.
Meghan Markle is nowhere in front of you.
ज़्यादा हो गया, अब मैं हवा पे उड़ूंगी थोड़ा, फॉल सीलिंग टूटेगी अभी.
So, ma'am, moving towards the last question.
Last question, huh?
So it is, this question is asked by Ishita Aila from third year.
Okay.
So, what inspired you to pursue such a niche field of law related to animal rights?
Okay. So that's also an easy answer. Animal rights, because I decided on doing this when I was in my LLM, first year LLM, and I didn't know that anything called an animal law existed. But I've always grown up with pets at home. So I think it was just one random thought one day that is there any law at all for animals? and it was just a random thought. And then after I did my LLM, or I think in my final semester of LLM, I went to Yogesh sir, and I told him, Yogesh sir was my teacher in LLM. So I just went to him and told him, sir, I think for my PhD I want to do work on animal law. And he said, okay. And I was like, okay. So basically, I think that's where I got the confidence that it's not a stupid idea, because honestly, when I thought of the idea of working on animal law, a lot of people told me, why animal law? You should think about environmental law. Environmental law is an upcoming area, you should consider that. But for me personally, because I've always been so attached to animals, and I've grown up around them, and everyone in my family is like that. So I thought, at least as a starting point, I just wanted to learn about animal law. And I think that idea came from there. And once I registered for my PhD and worked on my thesis, that's when I realized that there's a lot to animal law than what we realize. So I think that's where it came from. And I'm glad that I could work in that area, because even till date, I think you don't find a lot of research, you don't find a lot of work in this field of law. So that will always remain a special place.
To keep up with the spirit of Coffee with Karan, we have a very exciting round, rapid fire with no hamper.
Koi baat nahi, it's okay.
So, what's your favorite genre to watch?
Bollywood, masala, typical Bollywood movies.
Wow. Describe NLUO in one word.
Evolving. It's ever evolving.
That's a unique way to put it. Describe law profession in one word.
Challenging.
Your spirit animal.
Oh, my spirit animal.
Panda.
I am nowhere close to one in terms of its nature, but that's what I aspire to be. Panda. Do nothing and just roll around eating bamboo.
What's your one guilty pleasure?
मैं बताऊंगी तो जो लोग जज करेंगे. Listening to वो क्या कहते हैं आजकल, बस ड्राइवर प्लेलिस्ट सॉन्ग्स. तो रास्ते से जा रहे थे भेलपुरी खा रहा था जब. That's my guilty pleasure. But I don't get about it. खाने को बोलो तो brownies.
One word for cult crew. All the love, bro. First thought that comes into your mind when you see your pet.
If he is not being naughty, then yeah, all my love. But when he raises hell, I can't see why I love him so much.
So ma'am, now we are done with our rapid fire. So just lastly, if you would like to pass on some words of wisdom to our students, what would it be?
थोड़ा chill करो life में. थोड़ा, that's my word of wisdom. Just one word. Chill. थोड़ा chill करो life में. इतना don't get so worked up about things, so stressed about things. Placement हो जाएगा. कहीं ना कहीं नौकरी मिल जाएगी. Everyone, I think one problem is that we always feel that when we are going through a bad time, whatever it may be, it is very magnified to us. क्योंकि हमें लगता है it's very unique to us. सिर्फ हमारे साथ ऐसा हो रहा है, हमारे साथ ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है? But that's not it. I think everyone goes through a bad phase, and especially if you feel that you're going through a bad time, just bow your head down, let that wave just go. There are always good times ahead. So थोड़ा chill करो, थोड़ा कम stress लो, इतना overthink मत करो, and I think you should be fine.
Thank you so much, Parvati. So good to interview you.
Thank you so much.